Are you still talking about paper money? Transfers that take hours? International payments that drag on for days? Too slow. In the era of AI and blockchain, he who controls the currency issuance technology controls the lifeblood of the economy. The question is no longer, should we build a CBDC? The question is, does Vietnam dare to turn IFC into a laboratory of power? For the EVND? Digital Central Bank, CBDC, the new power at IFC. Episode 41. This is not a tech game. This is the restructuring of national financial power. Sovereignty in payments. Today, every major international transaction must pass through global intermediary systems. We are dependent. We pay the fees. We endure the latency. Meanwhile, the world has already weaponized CBDC. China with the e-CNY. Singapore testing cross-border payments. The United Arab Emirates joining multi-currency networks. Vietnam cannot stand on the sidelines. An execution manual at IFC. Pilot the EVND within the perimeter of IFC. Exclusively for interbank to enterprise payments. Bond and stock settlements. Cross-border trade clearing. Not mass market. Not rushed. But deep enough to test the limits. The breakthrough. Programmable money. Money is no longer a neutral piece of paper. Money can be programmed. Disbursing 100 billion to a manufacturing firm? The smart contract dictates. Payment only to raw material suppliers. Cannot be diverted to speculation. Cannot be withdrawn from the production ecosystem. The money protects its own purpose. Transparency is no longer a slogan. It becomes programmable logic. With CBDC, the State Bank of Vietnam can track the pulse of capital in real time. Not for extreme control, but for instant policy response, early risk containment, precision liquidity management. It is the divine eye of modern monetary policy. The solution: cross-border CBDC connectivity. A domestic digital currency is not enough. It must speak to the world. Policymakers must dive deep into multilateral projects like M-Bridge, the collaborative initiative between Hong Kong, Thailand, China, the Bank for International Settlements. Imagine this at IFC. An international investor moves USD into the system. Swaps to EVND in seconds. Cost near zero. No layers of intermediary banks. Divesting? Move it back instantly. No lag. No settlement risk. No trapped funds between time zones. For venture capital, latency is the enemy. IFC does not need to compete with high interest rates. IFC competes with speed, transparency, programmability. When your currency is smarter, capital will find its way to where it is most efficiently operated. Closing. Currency has always been the ultimate tool of power. In the 21st century, that power resides in the source code. If you do not master digital currency technology, you will remain dependent on someone else's system. Let IFC be the birthplace of the future version of the VND. Quietly, without fanfare, but deep enough to shift the balance. Currency is sovereignty, and digital sovereignty cannot afford to come second. The tax puzzle: don't cut taxes, cut compliance costs. Episode 42. Do you think simply shouting 0% tax will make global corporations flock to Tttcqtvn? Wrong. That era ended the moment the 15% global minimum tax was born. If Vietnam doesn't collect that 15%, the corporation's home country will seize the difference. So why would they choose you? Not for the lowest tax. They choose the place with the least risk, the least red tape, the fewest endless audits. In the new world, tax is no longer a race to the bottom. It is a race for stability. The fear of the audit. International investment funds do not fear paying taxes. They fear midstream policy shifts, overlapping regulations, audits that drag on for 3 to 5 years. The threat of sudden back tax assessments. Since the OECD's Global Minimum Tax (GMT) initiative, 15% has become the universal benchmark. So how does IFC compete? An execution manual at IFC. 1. Flat tax rate, a crystal clear 15%. No hidden incentives. No loopholes. Full alignment with GMT. 2. Aggressive deductions for real value creation. R&D. Digital infrastructure. Human capital training. Green tech investment. You don't cut the nominal tax. You incentivize long-term commitment. Strategic weapon, APA. Aggressively apply the Advanced Pricing Agreement, APA, mechanism. The enterprise and the tax authority. Sit down at the start of the year. Lock in the method. Lock in the profit margin. Lock in transfer pricing principles. Signed right-pointing arrow operate with peace of mind. No surprises. No reinterpretations 3 years later. That stability is the most valuable tax exemption of all. Investors don't need to pay 10%. They need to know that the 15% today is still 15% 5 years from now. The solution: personal income tax, the talent magnet. Corporate tax is shackled by the GMT. But personal income tax, PIT, is not. And in the financial industry, top-tier talent is the only true asset. The strategic initiative: apply a maximum PIT of 10%. For senior experts working within IFC. Why does this matter? Because financial experts can work in Singapore today, Dubai next week, Hong Kong next month. They are not tethered to a factory. They follow the optimal environment. Retaining 90% of net income is a message louder than any marketing campaign. When 10,000 financial experts arrive, they rent homes. They buy apartments. They consume high-end services. They open family offices. They invest long-term. Consumption tax, real estate tax, service tax. Total budget revenue can be many times higher than the lost PIT. This is not a concession. This is a brain gain strategy. You aren't devaluing the tax. You are positioning IFC as the regional talent hub. Closing: money always flows to where risk is lowest, transparency is highest, predictability is absolute. Don't try to win by cutting nominal taxes. Win by reducing compliance costs, reducing legal uncertainty, reducing the fear of the audit. In a world of global minimum tax, stability is the ultimate incentive. IFC doesn't need to be the lowest tax haven. IFC must be the most civilized tax system. The war against tax evasion, keeping ourselves clean. Episode 43. Imagine a morning. IFC Ho Chi Minh City is blacklisted by Europe under suspicion of aiding tax evasion. Just one headline. Instantly. EU banks sever connections. International payments are frozen for scrutiny. Investment funds halt all disbursements. 10 years of building, frozen in 10 minutes. Do you dare to reject massive but dirty capital to preserve a clean future? At IFC, tax integrity is not about morality. It is the visa to trade with the world. Fighting base erosion and profit shifting, BEPS. We want to attract investment. But we don't want IFC to become a transit station for cooking profits. The world has issued a clear warning. The OECD launched the BEPS program, base erosion and profit shifting. The goal: stop corporations from shifting profits to low-tax jurisdictions without real substance. If IFC wants to stand within the global financial system, we must apply BEPS standards with absolute rigor. A management manual, substance requirement. Establish a digital tax control unit at IFC. Every business registered here must prove real office, real employees, real operating costs, real value creating activities. You cannot just hang a sign in 2 theme, then funnel all profits from elsewhere. No mailbox companies. No shell corporations. No paper profits. If substance requirements are not met, licenses are revoked instantly. The message must be clear. IFC is a real financial hub, not a parking lot for loophole structures. The solution: automatic exchange of information, AEOI. Transparency cannot be mere lip service. It must be hard-coded into the system. IFC must commit to the AEOI mechanism, automatic exchange of information. Under global standards, this standard is operated by the Global Forum on Transparency and Exchange of Information for Tax Purposes. This means financial account information is shared periodically. Cross-border assets cannot remain anonymous forever. Abnormal cash flows are detected early. A technological initiative: blockchain for tax records. At IFC, tax profiles are fully digitized. Asset fluctuations are tracked. Every edit leaves a permanent timestamp. Cannot be erased. Cannot be forgotten. No backdating. When a legal international request arrives, verification happens instantly. This proactive transparency sends a message. Ifcinvietnam is the sanctuary for clean capital. When you hold yourself to the highest standard, the world's largest financial institutions will feel the most secure operating here. In international finance, reputation is more precious than short-term profit. Closing: you cannot want to get rich quick while shaking hands with murky capital. Choose one. Either build a transparent ecosystem, compliant with international standards, connected to the global grid, or trade your reputation for short-term gains and accept being shunned by the civilized world. A financial center is only strong when it is clean. Keeping ourselves clean is not out of fear. It is the foundation of sustainable power. The administrative machine, civil servants or bankers? Episode 44. A fund manager from London touches down in Tttcqtvn. He seeks approval for a new trading algorithm. Documents submitted. The response he receives: waiting for opinions. Needs a red seal. Requires confirmation from 3 different ministries. He does not wait. That same afternoon, he boards a flight to Singapore. In the game of IFC, the most dangerous rival is not another country. It is internal stagnation. Do you dare to empower an agency to move at the speed of the market? The one-stop shop must be real. The fatal error: placing an international financial center under a multi-layered bureaucratic mechanism. IFC cannot function like a typical government department. It must operate like a living exchange. A management manual. Establish the IFC Authority, an independent IFCA. Reports directly to the Prime Minister. Possesses on-the-spot decision-making power. Operates with its own budget and financial mechanism. Reference models: Monetary Authority of Singapore, Dubai Financial Services Authority. These agencies don't just manage. They orchestrate the ecosystem. Personnel. Not your average civil servants. IFCA cannot be a parking lot for administrative rotations. Staff must be hired on market-based contracts. Be paid according to international standards. Possess battle-tested experience in banking, investment funds, and fintech. They must master derivatives, structured products, blockchain settlement, AI trading systems. They must speak the same language as bankers. And most importantly, they must have the power to approve in hours, not months. IFCA does not control. IFCA provides high-end public services. If a business hits a legal snag, IFCA must be the one to untangle it, not the one creating more barriers. The solution: ruthless KPIs. To make the machine fast, you must measure it with market metrics. Not by the number of documents issued, not by the number of meetings held, but by average licensing time, investor satisfaction levels, total trading volume at IFC, number of new financial products deployed, The accountability contract mechanism. Every IFCA department head signs a KPI contract. If a file is delayed without justification, public explanation, bonus deductions, or personnel replacement, the culture must be absolute. IFC exists to serve the market. At the Dubai International Financial Center, regulators work according to global time zones. In Singapore, responses to businesses are measured in hours. Vietnam wants to compete? It must have true technocrats, daring to shed the bureaucratic cloak and stepping into the suit of a professional operator. Closing. You may have beautiful infrastructure, good policies, attractive incentives, but if the machine is slow, everything collapses. A modern vision cannot run on an obsolete mechanism. IFC does not need more procedures. IFC needs speed. Choose professionalism, or accept remaining forever a financial center on paper. Governance algorithms, when AI is the governor. Episode 45. Do you still think managing an IFC means reading PDF reports and signing approvals at a desk? Obsolete. In a single day, a financial center processes billions of transactions at the speed of light. Vast volumes of data. Capital moving across borders in milliseconds. No human being can monitor it all. Without AI, you are blind to the underground flows. In 2030 at Tttcqtvn, the true governor does not sit in a boardroom. It lives in the data center. Real-time governance. IFC cannot operate on a quarterly report mechanism. It must be a living GovTech ecosystem. An execution manual. IFC becomes the core of digital financial government. Integrated banking data, tax data, customs data, capital market data, into a single, real-time analytical system. RegTech 24/7 automated oversight. AI analyzes the behavior of every entity. Abnormal fluctuations, suspicious transaction patterns, circuitous fund transfers, irregular frequencies. If signs of money laundering or manipulation appear, the system triggers an alert. It can even automatically suspend transactions within a millisecond. No more scheduled inspections. Audit happens every second. In financial hubs like Singapore or the Dubai International Financial Center, RegTech has become the operational backbone. Vietnam cannot manage an IFC using Excel spreadsheets. Strategic benefits. Reduced harassment. Reduced emotional dependency. Increased objectivity. Investors do not want favors. They want clear rules and protection by a fair algorithm. Mathematics does not take bribes. Data does not lie. The solution. Self-service IFC. A modern IFC does not have crowded reception halls. It has a 24/7 digital service portal. Digital first is mandatory. Every procedure, business registration, financial licensing, tax filing, work permit applications, executed entirely online. No paper files. No physical red seals. Global eKYC. An investor in Switzerland can open a company at IFC Ho Chi Minh City simply through biometric authentication, electronic ID, international digital signatures. The system cross-checks with global databases to ensure AML and KYC compliance. The process takes minutes, not weeks, streamlining the machine. When technology replaces repetitive tasks, smaller workforce, higher quality personnel, lower operating costs. Most importantly, the system is harder to corrupt. You cannot plead with an algorithm. Closing. Technology knows no fear, no bias, no compromise. If you want a world-class financial center, let the algorithm lead the way. Do not fear losing power to AI. Fear falling behind the world. IFC cannot be governed with a 20th century mindset. In 2030, the governor must be an intelligent system, and humans are the final overseers.